If you've been around the anime community since the start of Boruto, I guarantee you've heard someone say, Ninjutsu is useless, every villain just absorbs it. Because let me tell you, it was and still is a very common thing a lot of haters like to say to discredit the series and claim it has a lack of creativity when it comes to the villains because they're reusing the same ninjutsu absorption technique, which is complete nonsense. In this video, I'm going to give you the exact names and amount of villains in Boruto that straight up have ninjutsu absorption, which isn't a lot by the way. And then to further push my point of the hypocrisy and blind hatred towards Boruto that most people have, I'll compare the numbers to that of various things in Naruto that people have no issues with and no one wants to complain about how common it is for others to have stuff of their own, because trust me, it's hilarious how recurrent some of these things are. Quickly, before we get into the video, if you're unfamiliar with me and my content, I strictly use manga canon. So only the source material from the manga is what I go off of when making videos and talking about the series. I don't do the filler stuff or anime canon, so everything I talk about will strictly be from the manga. I say this in the start of every video and I still get comments telling me I'm making mistakes because of events from the anime, so to save you all the trouble, you can feel free to let me know of the anime events in the comments, but they are irrelevant to the actual discussion in the video. Let's get into it. To start off, ninjutsu absorption is pretty straightforward. The character has to have an ability to completely suck in and absorb ninjutsu. Like I said, it's pretty clear what it means, so for the characters to actually have this ability, they need to show themselves using it, or we need to have literally zero reason to doubt the capabilities of that. An example of this is the claw grinds that Code has. They have the Rinnegan, so in theory they should be able to absorb ninjutsu, but there are many ways to argue against them actually being able to do this, like the fact they have been caught numerous times by ninjutsu when they could have and should have absorbed it, or that they are mindless beings who can't actually activate the Rinnegan's abilities, or that the Rinnegan from the Ten Tails itself is different from that of the Rinnegan previously shown, which could make sense considering none of the Shinju that we've seen fight have used any of the Rinnegan abilities either. That's also on top of them not possessing the knowledge on how to use the Rinnegan. So like I was saying, since there's multiple ways to explain why the two Blue Vortex villains and opponents aren't absorbing ninjutsu, they won't be valid in my list of those who can. With that out of the way, let's look at the multiple ways ninjutsu absorption can be achieved in Boruto, and there's really only 3 ways currently, and those are the Rinnegan, the Karma Mark, and scientific ninja tools. So taking those in consideration, let's look at the villains in the series so far. We have Momoshiki, Kinshiki, Ao, Koji, Shojuji, Delta, Kawaki, Boro, Jigen, Ishiki, Code, Ada, Damon, and the 5 new Shinju. Those are all the villains in the Boruto manga, so now out of that list, which of them have shown the ability to actually absorb ninjutsu? Go ahead and take a look. I'll leave the list of them on screen. You done looking? Alright, I'll just go ahead and tell you now, it is only Momoshiki, Jigen, and Kawaki who have unlimited ninjutsu absorption, and then there's Delta as well, but she has a blatant limit as shown in her fight. So out of the 13 people I just gave you, only 4 of them can use this ability. And keep in mind, I might have even forgotten a villain in Boruto, but I sure as didn't forget anyone who can absorb ninjutsu. So yeah, a measly 4 villains can do this, and apparently that's something to hate on, which is crazy. It truly is. And when you constantly see people saying it's such a common thing in the series, it's kind of baffling, and I don't want to say it's infuriating or frustrating, because at the end of the day, people don't read to understand, they just skim through pictures. But doing that and then having the audacity to criticize that series is astonishing. As I promised in the start of the video though, let's look at some Shippuden and Naruto stats and numbers to see what is just as common or even more common that goes overlooked, and a great one here is the Mangekyo Sharingan. Did you guys know that more people in Naruto have the Mangekyo Sharingan than villains in Boruto have ninjutsu absorption? You have Madara, who according to Itachi unlocked it from training against his brother Izuna, who also got his MS the same way, so that's 2 right there. You then have Obito, who unlocked his Mangekyo after watching Kakashi hit Rin with a Chidori through the chest, which is where Kakashi got his as well. So right there, that's already 4 Mangekyo Sharingans in Naruto. The same amount of chakra absorbing villains as in Boruto, but we don't even stop there. You then have Shisui Uchiha, who watched and let his friend die in battle, Itachi Uchiha, who watched Shisui unalive himself, and then finally Sasuke, who learned Itachi's truth and had his MS awakened that way. That's a whole 7 individuals who have awakened their MS, and if you feel generous and want to throw in Sarada, who in the Boruto manga has the Mangekyo, that makes 8 people. Twice as many Mangekyo Sharingan users than Ninjutsu Absorption villains in Boruto. Yet that's not too common, right? It's only an issue when it's something with Boruto. What else is there? Oh yeah, how about people who have space-time ninjutsu? Well, there's Tobirama with Flying Raijin, Minato with Flying Raijin, Obito with Kamui, and also Kakashi with Kamui, who by the way, let's not forget he was able to teleport himself out of the Kamui dimension with his eye, and Madara also did the same. So that's 4 space-time ninjutsu users in Naruto. And then if you want to take out Kakashi for whatever reason, there's Renegon Sasuke from the late war who has Amino Tejikara, the jutsu that lets him swap places with anything he wants, and that is also classified as a space-time ninjutsu in the 4th data book. So that is more people with space-time ninjutsu in Naruto than villains with chakra absorption in Boruto. I got a couple more examples of me, so let's go with reviving the dead. Yeah. There were more times in Naruto people were brought back from being unalive than villains could absorb ninjutsu in Boruto. And I don't mean the whole village being brought back by Rene Rebirth to just be the only one here. No, I'm talking about Rene Rebirth being one instance, Granny Chiyo reviving Gaara being another, Sakura reviving Naruto during the 4th war to be one, Kabuto saving Sasuke to be one, and I guess Guy wasn't completely gone, but come on, he used the 8th gate, he should have, no pun intended, be dust. But Naruto did save him with his cool new powers he got. I hope at this point you guys understand what I'm trying to get at here. I'm not sitting here saying Ninjutsu Absorption is the greatest thing to happen to the Naruto and Boruto series, because let's be for real, it's been around since Naruto, it's not a new concept just within Boruto itself. But I personally believe this whole thing and concept of abilities isn't something we should be dragging Boruto for, and saying it's something that's so blatantly common is just completely false. Like I said, only 4 people have access to such an ability, and while it is more common than something like Tenten winning a fight, because that's a feat she's only managed to do twice, and one of them was against a clone of herself, it's not some blatant overused thing that's prominent in the series. The only people capable of doing that right now in Boruto are Boruto himself, Kawaki, and Delta. So now if we don't even limit it to just being villains in this case, there's still only 3 people who can do this. Sorry for the little rant, guys. I just kind of opened up Twitter and saw more people saying this, and I just figured I had to make a video and get this off of my chest. If you like Boruto type videos where people debunk or talk about false narratives and misconceptions about the series, you should check out my other videos and subscribe if you want to see more Boruto Naruto content from me. I do upload weekly every Thursday, so keep that in mind. Your boy is active out here. If you want to discuss anything further than just the comment section, or you want to connect more with the community, go join the Discord, it's linked in the description, and think about becoming a member for all the fun little perks and bonuses you get. And yeah, like always, have a good day.